And now, with Hot Press, The Rock Report. Radio Nova.
Twice a day here on Radio Nova, we talk music, and it happens after 1, and it happens right here, right now. This is Marty Miller. If you have a band, are you unsigned, and do you want some help getting known? Well, Helgard de Barros is the man behind the Grey Federation, and maybe the Grey Federation can help your musical career. Helgard joins us now on Nova to tell of the Foundation's ideas and of a new project.
Well, the Grey Federation is basically a collective of unsigned local Irish bands that are working together to get ahead. We want to provide all the services to local bands that would normally be provided by a record company, like marketing, promotion, distribution, gigs, tours, that sort of thing, that the bands obviously don't have access to because they don't actually have a record company.
But record companies normally have heaps of money to put into these kind of things when they decide to sign an artist. Where is it coming from with you, and how can you give that same service?
A lot of things don't actually take a lot of money to do. Booking gigs for bands doesn't take you a lot of money to do, or designing posters and flyers doesn't take money to do. And obviously, as the Grey Federation, we're not paying for, recording studios, and we're not paying for manufacture of CDs and things like that. The bands that are releasing their own things are doing that on their own. We're just providing the service of sort of...
This is a support network, isn't it?
Yeah, a support network, basically.
You talk about legal matters and things like that, stuff that bands may not be aware of when they sometimes jump at maybe what could be the first contract they're offered. They kind of go, oh, this is great, we've got a record deal. And then, sure enough, it might turn around to bite them in years to come. But it's your job or your aim to help some of these guys out. What's your background, Helgard? How did you get involved in wanting to help Irish bands?
Well, I come from South Africa, and in South Africa, I was involved in music for about 20 years. I managed bands in South Africa, organised tours by bands like Prodigy and Faithless and things like that. So I got 20 years of experience doing what I'm doing now, and basically I was sitting around thinking, I've got all this experience and knowledge, let me just put it to use and do something productive with it,
And one of your first big projects of the Grey Federation is, well, it's a nice subject matter, it's a tribute to Lizzie with unsigned bands. Tell us about that.
Well, the idea was basically that we've got about 30 bands, 24 at the moment, who all wanted to work together on a project, do something together that would involve all the bands that belong to the Grey Federation. And the best thing we could think of was doing sort of a compilation album, cover versions of Thin Lizzy or something. It would be more marketable and would make a bigger splash, in the local scene.
Sure, yeah.
So we basically came up with the idea of doing a double CD 30-track tribute to Thin Lizzy, featuring bands across the board, from acoustic one-man bands through to indie bands, rock bands, metal bands, electronic bands, whoever wants to, donate to the project.
Sounds like a plan, Helgard. Where do we find out more?
Okay, the official website is www.thegreyfederation.com.
Nice one. All right, Helgard de Barros, thank you for joining us from the Grey Federation, and a quick link for you on our Facebook page right now if you want to know more about the Grey Federation, facebook.com/Radio Nova 100.
First, with the rock news you need to know. The 6 o'clock Rock Report, in association with Hot Press, Radio Nova.
Last night on the Rock Report, we were speaking with Helgard de Barros, the man behind the Grey Federation, an organisation who want to help Irish unsigned bands get out there some more. And one of the things that we didn't get to last night is a music seminar called Amplify.
Amplify, when I started doing the Grey Federation, I started working with these people like Overdrive and all these other companies that were also involved with local unsigned bands. And we all said, let us as a bunch of companies do something together, to help out the bands and educate them. So we came up with this idea of doing a series of seminars where we'd get guest speakers in to talk about various aspects of the music business. So the first one we'll have myself talking about treating your band as a business. We'll have Overdrive talking about merchandising and branding for bands. We'll have Dermot Lambert from Garagelands talking about, playing live and gigging in Ireland. And we'll have Pete Holliday from Radiators from Space talking about band self-management.
Now, that all takes place, by the way, Tuesday the 22nd of January, 6:30. It's free in for you if you're a band and unsigned. It's all happening at the Grand Social.
Getting right to the heart of the big rock stories. The 6 o'clock Rock Report, in association with Hot Press, Radio Nova.